Hi guys, and welcome back. So you've probably seen a few videos with me already in the same outfit. I'll just give the quick spiel again. I actually have time to sit down and film videos. The children are sleeping, it's late at night, the lighting sucks, but what are you going to do? You got time, you got time. So I will try and remember to leave a link to my previous video down below if you'd like to see that. That's an update on my hair. Moving along, this video is going to be the second installment in the new little series that I'm trying to start up or whatnot, and it is about, sorry about that guys, my series is going to be just kind of like a topic of the week or topic of the weeks, or I'm hoping to do it weekly. So this one is going to be just about when your routine has been changed and how people deal with that, or how I'm dealing with that, or how my family is dealing with that. So we'll go back and kind of give a backstory about this. I'm hopefully not going to make this a really long video. My husband is diabetic. He's type 1 diabetic, and about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, he really started having issues with it again. He was going to get his A1C checked, and I'm not sure where your real target goal is, but 6 points would be good, and he was up over 10, which in the medical world is like bad. You could be going into kidney failure, etc. And so it got to the point where he actually, the insulin wasn't working well. He was sick all the time. He wasn't able to, his vision was affected, his mood was affected, and his kidneys and everything. I mean, his body was just, I think I said liver before I meant kidneys. His body was just, it was shutting down. It was not happy with how him and his diabetes were working. He was on a pump then. This is the second time he's tried the pump. First time that he was on the pump, he actually had to go off it because the pump malfunctioned. So that was a while back. So he was getting really sick and whatnot, and it was just, with the work that he does, it just wasn't, I guess, not safe for him anymore. There's machinery that needs to be operated, there's a lot of equipment going around, heavy boxes, things of that nature, and his vision was being affected, and it just wasn't good. So he was going to the doctor a lot, his specialist, and finally got to the point where the specialist is like, you just can't. You cannot go to work. We need to get this under control. Your A1C is way too high. Your body is not having it, and so you're done. We're taking you off the pump, and we're going back to basic insulin. A slow-acting and a fast-acting. The slow-acting that he would take in the morning and hopefully get him through the day, and the fast-acting with meals. So we started that, and it has been very hard financially. It has been very hard mentally and on all of us, and it's been obviously very hard physically for my husband. It's just, nobody wants to not be able to do what they do, their everyday life. So, like I said, they changed over his insulin, yada yada. My daughter absolutely loved it because she got to see her dad. Her dad was here every night to put her to bed. Her dad was here every morning when she woke up, which is not the case when he is working. He works Tuesday through Friday from 4 p.m. until 2 a.m. So, oh my goodness. I need to just make that be quiet. So, she would only see him for about an hour a day because he would get home, he'd do whatever he was doing in the early morning. By the time my daughter would wake up, he would be sleeping, and he would sleep the day, sleep until lunch, and then it would be time for us to go and get my son, and Daryl would go to work. So Grace only got to see her dad for about an hour and a half of the day. So this was wonderful to her. She's seen her dad all the time, and it just was absolutely wonderful. It was nice for me because I work from home. He was here to watch the kids. Now, that does not mean that he sat down here and watched the kids every day while I worked. That was a struggle in of itself because he is a guy. I don't know. That's a bad excuse. That's not a good excuse. Like, your husband should be helping you if he's home. But he would get bugs up his butt and just be like, well, you did it before I was gone. Why can't you do it when I'm here? Why do I have to help, or whatever? So that was a bit of contentions to me because everybody's schedule changed. I needed to be able to work more. He was here, and he needed to just help out more, So that changed. While part of the family dynamic enjoyed that, most of the family dynamic that we have did not enjoy that. We needed him to be at work. or I needed him here helping me so that I could be working. And so that change, it was really hard for us. It was very, it caused a lot of bickering, a lot of fighting. Nothing drastic. I mean, God, don't worry, this isn't serious stuff. But it's just the everyday stressors, and you take it out on your spouse. You start arguing with your spouse. So then it got to be where he'd be going to the doctor and like, okay, we hope to be releasing you in 2 weeks. We gotta just get this under control. I'm like, okay, so just for 2 weeks, we can do this for 2 weeks. And then he'd go back and his A1C would be coming down a little, but then his other levels would be going up. And so then it turned into kidney scans because we needed to check and make sure them were okay. They were talking possible dialysis. I mean, it got out of control. So in the end, it ended up being 6 weeks of him off. On top of that, short-term disability can take their sweet time to approve this because it's a medical leave, FMLA, but it's short-term disability. And so the first 3 weeks he was off, he had no income coming in. And I only work 20 hours a week. So my income alone is obviously not enough to sustain a household to keep us running. It wasn't going to pay the bills, keep us fed, the heat on, whatever. And so that was really stressful. And then we would get a check, and it would be obviously back paid 2 to 3 weeks or whatever, but then it was, you go to the doctor, okay, I'm extending you a few more weeks. So then you had to do the fight with the insurance again to get that check, so you'd go another couple weeks. And you couldn't really save up the check that you got for that first 3 weeks because you had already fallen behind on your rent and you had fallen behind on the car payment. So that entire check, when it came, went right back out. And then you were stuck a couple weeks. And we were used to, I get paid every other week, but my husband got paid weekly. So there was always income coming in. And then it wasn't. So that was really hard. It was pretty tricky there for a while. Thankfully, our rent, we also manage apartments, and where we live, the owner of the apartments owns this place as well. So we were able to talk with him, and we didn't incur any late fees per se, but we did fall behind on our rent, but we're not going to be evicted, so that's good. So in the end, my husband was off for 6 weeks, I think, and in them 6 weeks, we literally got a paycheck every 3 weeks, so twice. He just went back to work. Today's Friday. He just went back to work this past Wednesday because there was a mess up in paperwork. He was supposed to go back Tuesday, we thought, but it actually said Wednesday. So he went back Wednesday, and on Wednesday we actually got on Thursday we got the second check from short-term disability for the 3 weeks prior to that. So we're caught up that way, and obviously as fast as that came in, it went right back out. We paid bills today. But now that he's back to work, next week we will have a paycheck, and we will be back to the weekly paychecks. That being said, as I said, this video was kind of about daily routine change. So now he's been home for 6 weeks. My daughter's gotten used to that. He's helped me run back and forth to get my son from school, able to work more, helped with meals, things like that. And now he's gone again. And so now I start to feel like I'm a single mom. And this kind of sucks. I kind of wish my husband was home. Selfish, yes. Is it realistically possible? No, not happening. He needs to be at work. We need that income. But it was a complete change. So now my daughter's having a hard time with that again because now we're back to she sees Dad for an hour during the afternoon, and I'm the one putting her to bed every night again. And she really enjoyed story time with Dad. Getting the bath from Mom, Dad would read a story, we'd tuck her and go to bed. So I guess looking back, we probably shouldn't have changed that, but he was here, and he does enjoy that. He likes doing those things. He likes to be able to tuck her in at night and listen to her stories and the things they do. So she's having a hard time with that. My son, who I did not think was going to be so affected, he's had issues with it. He's got a couple medical issues of his own, and so this change, he's constantly like, where's Daryl? That Daryl's not his biological father, but he's been in our lives for many, many years now, so he's obviously like a dad. I mean, it's been, do we figure out, like 6 years or something like that? I mean, it's crazy, 5 or 6 years that, we've all been together. 3 years with Grace, but, So my son highly enjoyed Daryl taking him to school in the mornings because that was their thing. They'd stop, they'd get donuts, they'd get milk, they'd do the car ride to school because it's a half-hour ride. and he enjoyed that. And now that's stopped, and it's back to me taking him to school, and I try and do things as quickly and efficiently as possible. I buy a box of donuts in the beginning of the week because my son loves donuts, or we have cereal. He's doing that here, and then we go to school. We don't have all those stops. So I think that's been kind of hard on him because he really enjoyed that. And then math, like homework-wise, I'm not the greatest in math. My husband is good at math, so he was able to help him with that homework, and I really struggle with that, so he gets a little frustrated with that. And now we're back to, now I've got to try and regroup my time. Regroup is not the word, but figure out how to plan my day. And that's been a struggle for me because I've been used to being able to have all day to get my work done. And now it's like, no, I need to get my son to school, I need to come home, I need to work, I need to go pick him up, I need to come home, I need to figure out supper, get food on the table, get him one. And I had help for the last 6 weeks to do that. So it's all a big learning curve, and this video is 11 minutes already. I am so sorry. So I will wrap this up. This video is about family adapting to change. So my question is to you, have you had this happen to you? Maybe it was something medical, maybe it was just unfortunate with the economy, one or the other has lost their jobs, and you really started depending on that person, and now they're gone again because they found a job or whatnot. How did you cope? What were your outlets? Did you talk to people? Did you just suck it up? Were you able to talk to your spouse openly? And suggestions. I mean, this is just a week back into how life should have been and how life was. So we're slowly readapting, and I'm sure within the next week we will be fine. But it's still a struggle. So, kind of use the comment section down below and start chatting it up. Give your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions, and hopefully we can get a topic started, or a conversation going over this topic, and we will go from there. If you're new to my channel and found this video through searching, please subscribe, because this is kind of where I'm trying to take my channel, to a little discussion area with a few unboxings and stuff. So I would appreciate it if you did subscribe. Give that like button a click to give me a thumbs up, or give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.